I think I always have had that desire to always help people. I'd like to call myself a stay-at-home mom with a business. When I got my first client, I really didn't think that this would be like my career. I really didn't think that this is something that I want to do. She told me, Wacu, you need to learn how to not carry people's problems.
Right now in our Kenyan space, and is it an easy business to do? Like, how do you even approach your client? Like,
we're in the age of where people talk about, I want to see my therapist.
Yes.
Told me that. My therapist told me I have attachment issues. My therapist told me I'm depressed and all that.
What other levels of support have you received, or would have been fantastic to receive?
People assume therapists are supposed to be
serious.
You keep proper, don't make jokes. Secrets. When people find you relatable, then they're able to, I think it's easy for them to open up. People have so many wrong perceptions about what therapy is. People are afraid of going to therapy because they think it's just a space where you just talk about problems. 90%, and I will say this boldly, 90% of how children are is their parents and how they've been raised. So you can imagine, the issue of this child, ni mzazi.
And
you have to communicate that. Do you know the next client who called me asked me, you charge this amount? And I said no.
And a high amount.
Oh,
Wacu. Do we throw pillows at you?
Gosh, that was your stepping stone.
That was it.
And one of the things I've noticed that there are not a lot of Kenyan authors who have written books on counseling, especially for children. Whatever you have, imagine that's it. Whatever you have in your hands, that's just it. That's what you need to do.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Before Breakthrough. This is Victoria Chebet, and my co-host is
Phyllis Mboro.
And this space is a space where we feature women who are building, risking, trying, and rising right before the world knows their name. And today, Phyllis will take us through an amazing guest.
Yeah. Today, colorful, well-dressed.
Wow, she looks so good.
You look like a businesswoman. I just need keys to a Harrier or a GLE.
Yes, and it's coming.
It's coming.
I think this woman carries a lot of grace from how I see her. She's about to blush and forget all her answers. She carries a lot of grace. I think she's also a very deep, very centered woman. And also centered on God in this case. Very all-rounded. I think sometimes people who can do many things have a problem in deciding.
Actually, true.
But why am I introducing her? Lynn Wacu.
Yes.
Who are you? Welcome, first of all. Thank you for making time.
Thank you so much. I think just for the viewers, just before we started filming, we had a really good conversation.
We did.
Yeah, and we realized that we sort of have known each other in different spaces.
Oh my gosh, the world is so small.
The world is so small, which I absolutely love. So, Guy, who am I? So my name is Lynn Wacu Omol. Omol is my husband's name. I am a daughter. I am a wife, a mom, and in this case, I am a business owner.
Yes.
And that's where we wanted to go deep and deep. So, Wacu, tell us more about your business, but also tell us about yourself and what led you to this business. So first of all, what is this business about? And what is your story that led you here?
Led me to this business. So my business is, I have a counseling practice that is called Kids Counselling Clinic, where I counsel, as I said, children. So children and adolescents, and occasionally young adults, depending on the need at hand. And I also do other things. I'm also a photographer, but for this conversation, I'll focus on the counseling practice. So my story starts on a very sad note. I lost my dad when I was small. When I was class class 6, 7 there. And my dad was really when I think about my childhood, I always think about my dad. 90% of the time, I'll remember my dad. I won't remember my mom as much. But it's because my dad and I were really, really close.
Okay.
Like we were very, very close. And so he became sick. And when he felt sick, I didn't know. I think I knew he was sick like a month before he passed. So I'm the last one in the family. So you know how some things you really don't know what you are just a child living your best life. No one is telling you anything.
Would you even understand?
Yeah, you don't understand anything. So I think now when he passed away, and it was also just like very rapid according to me and what I knew.
Yeah.
One moment he's sick, he was hospitalized. Next moment, I remember my mom coming to school and she was crying. So I was like, "Guy, amekufa," as he passed away.
Oh my goodness.
Then now she came to pick me from school and we went to the hospital. So he was in Aga Khan Hospital. So when we went to hospital, we were having a conversation with the counselor. And so later on, I realized that in Aga Khan, when you have a patient who is chronically ill, they'll ask you to go for therapy. And now in that conversation, I remember the therapist asking me, like, what is one thing what is your greatest fear? And I told him my greatest fear is my dad passing away. So we talked about it. Do you know the following day is actually when he passed away?
Oh, no.
So it was also very, very, very interesting. So now I grew up and living life, you are adjusting to life without one parent and all that. Then now comes me to have children. Now I have 2 children. So when I got my son, and you guys are moms and you'll tell me.
Yes.
You realize one of the things about moms that you go through is you go through a lot of mom rage. Like ule umejam. Mtoto hakuli.
Na watu wanakwambia mtoto wako hakulangi.
So I was so angry. I was such an angry mom. And I remember I called one of my friends and I told her, "Hey, Manzi," and she's a pastor from our church. And she told me, I told her, "Hey, I'm really struggling with that." Do you know what she told me? She told me, and this is, mind you, I think 10, 15 years later, that you never healed from your dad.
Oh, no.
So I'm sitting there. I'm like, now, where does it start from? And in this like same perspective, I had already started like my practice.
Yeah.
But there are things that because of my line of work as a counselor, it's always good for. As I am helping other children, I also need to work on myself because that's the best way that you can. That's the best possible way that you can be able to cater to these people.
Yeah.
So now that's one part of it. The second part of it is that I really, really struggled to get a job. I have never been employed in my 32 years of life, And I did my counseling. I did my degree in counseling psychology.
Yes.
And then after that, I looked for work. And I'd always in the back of my mind, actually, I really wanted to become a doctor. That one, I really wanted to become a doctor. And again, to help people. I think I always have had that desire to always help people.
Yeah.
And so I did my degree, then I finished looking for work, I didn't. So then I thought, what if I add on to something else that would be able to help me work in a hospital?
Yeah.
So I went and did a diploma course in clinical medicine. So I did that and I finished it. And now when I was finishing it, and when you do medical courses, you have to do like a practicum. So I did my practicum, and then in the course of my practicum, I think between it, at that time I'd already gotten married, so I was expecting my firstborn. So now towards the end of my practicum, I was trying to think, okay, so do I look for work or do I just stay home and take care of my son? So I was like, you know what, let me just take some time. The baby is here, let me stay home. And staying home, so I stayed home. I like to call myself a stay-at-home mom with a business. So yeah, I stayed home, and then now, like, when now you've gotten to a place you can leave the child with a nanny by themselves, and you're like, okay, so now I can start looking for work. Hey, my friend, I looked for that job. I looked for that job. Even people are telling you, like, from connections, people who as in, if I send you my CV, yani for sure utapata job. You will help me look for work. I did that, but nothing.
It was zero.
Nothing. That was since when? No?
I think.
How many years?
How old is my son is turning 5.
5, yeah.
So
I'd say for like
3
6 years. Okay, counting. Yeah, I'd say even before, for like 6 years, I've looked for work. I have never found a job.
Yeah.
And you can imagine the emotional toll that it takes on a person.
Yeah.
The psychological toll it takes on a person. You're trying to wonder, what is my value? What is my worth? Am I doing enough? And because of the kind of like families we come from and societies, everyone is like, wapi job, and then you have family members with small comments, and you're just like, where? Okay.
No.
Hey, hapa. Yeah, it was, by the way, it wasn't an easy journey.
Yeah.
So now, in the midst of me now looking for work, I remember there's a time I needed my living certificate to apply for a job, and I'd never gone for it from high school.
Yeah.
So I went to high school, to my former high school, and I picked it, and I talked to one of the teachers, and we're just having a conversation. He's asked me, so what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I studied counseling psychology. This is what I've done. And he tells me, by the way, I have a daughter. A daughter who is in high school, and my daughter is struggling with academics. She's struggling with it was academics, and then also just like peer pressure. She's struggling with peer pressure. So would you mind like talking to her? And I just sat there. I'm like, okay, I didn't take it seriously. I'm like, yeah. So he asked me, how do you charge? I said just a random number.
Oh my gosh.
A random figure in my mind. And now that's actually how I got my first client.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I think my career story is very funny. And I would say I kind of stumbled into what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So kind of stumbled, but not really. But because I think, as you were talking before, that these are things that you have, like gifts that you have, desires that you have. So that's how I can say that's my journey to where I began my business. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at this time now, you've started with one client.
Yes.
Now this is like a potential one client.
Yeah.
At that moment when you're figuring, when did you figure out that this can actually be a thing you'll do? And how did that journey look like, setting up your practice and looking for clients? How did you look for clients? What did you do? Yeah.
So I think when I got my first client, I really didn't think that this would be like my career. I really didn't think that this is something that I want to do.
Like a business.
Because I was still looking for work.
Because
I want that stability, as in at the end of the month, at least there's a paycheck. Yeah, there's a salary. And I'm really, I think, also grateful to my husband, because he never once pressured me like, you need to get a job. You need to. He never. Him actually was just happy. You just do whatever makes you happy, and you'll be fine. Yeah, I married that. Really
married right.
Really, I married right. I married right. So I think now when I got my first client, so I think that's having conversations with people. I was like, okay, so what if you actually set this up as a business? So I named it. I started doing like my logo and all that. At first it was called, I think, I can't even remember. Actually didn't even have a name. I think I just had a logo with my name, and then I just say Lynn Wacu, like counseling psychologist. That's where it started from. So now from that one client, it now, and especially now when you get feedback, because I am in the business of especially dealing with people's children. Like it's such a delicate, business, and somebody's paying you money to be able to see their child fine. And I am really grateful to God that every child that I have dealt with has been fine. Like, I remember this dad came and told me, by then my daughter passed. Like, even the parents called me, the mom called me. They're like, Aki, she really passed. Thank you so much for your help. And when you get such feedback, it gives you like motivation. Validation also. Like, kumbe I can actually do this.
Putting something out into the world.
What God has given me. So I think when it finally clicked that this can be a business was actually last year.
Oh, really?
What? And how far with her?
I think it's like 3 years. I always say 3 years.
Still looking for a job.
Still looking for a job.
Yeah.
And I was still getting like one client there, one client, especially from referrals. Like, I will refer you this child to somebody and all that. So I think last year is when it actually clicked me that this is actually my business. And what happened is I got my sister, one of my sisters got me a business coach.
Wow.
And when I started having sessions with this business coach is when I realized, okay, so she's teaching me about branding, about what is your focus, like what is it that you want to focus on. And I remember when the first meeting I had with her, she told me, you're not about making money. Like, she told me, you're not about making money, because from how you sound, even your personality, you're more of just really wanting to help people. Like, that's what she said. So how do we get you to think like that? Then that's when from just our meeting, she asked me, so what is your specialty? So as Phyllis mentioned, I really love children. I love children, and especially because of what happened to me when I was young. I if I had the right tools, the right vocabulary, the right environment for me to know that it's actually okay to talk about losing somebody and grief and all that. It's actually okay to talk about it. So once I realized that, then that's when I was like, okay, I think I need to focus on this. And the name Kids Counselling Clinic actually came from the Lord. I won't even say that. I did my research. I will not take that. It actually came from the Lord in just trying to because she asked me a lot of tough. I don't know if you've experienced business school. They will ask you a lot of tough questions.
I can imagine.
They'll ask you. A lot of tough questions, and she asked me a lot of tough questions. And I think from that, she told me specifically, go and pray and think about what is it that you want to do specifically.
Yes.
And from that conversation is when I actually realized this is actually my business and my career path.
This is it.
This is it. Yeah.
I want to go back to your dad's story. And how it showed up again in your adult life.
10 years later, 15 years later,
And maybe there's some ethics here and maybe whatever you're taught. But how have you healed while still being a practicing psychologist? And how has that journey been for you, and especially helping you to deliver the best to your clients?
That's a really good question. I think if you've been around counselors, they'll always say have your own therapist. So I have my own therapist who I absolutely love. She's a very wonderful person. And so I think when I now realize that I actually need to sit with somebody, because I was doing therapy and offering therapy to these kids. But at the same time, I wasn't really focusing on myself. And ethically, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do supervision. So supervision means you meet with either another psychologist or somebody who's trained as a supervisor, who you're able to debrief your cases to. And you tell them this is because in therapy, we use a lot of techniques. So there's different techniques that you've used on how to help etc. and kind of person. So I think one is that also now working with a therapist, and then also learning to, because the issue, the thing is, it wasn't what happened. It was what it did to me.
Yeah.
So finding outlets and talking about it to people, to friends, to people that I can trust, and sharing it to people, because now once you're able to talk about it, then you realize this thing doesn't have a hold on you. I like to say grief is like it's like a wound. When you get cut, like you'll see it's bleeding and all that. And if you don't take care of it, like it might become infected, septic, all these things like that. So once you clean it and start taking care of it, like the wound is still there, but it begins to disappear and to heal. So I think finding, like, having a supervisor and finding people that I'm able to talk to, and also learning to do things for myself.
Yeah.
Because my work, I hold a lot of space for children.
Yeah.
I hold a lot of space for children. I remember, so I've done a master's. I am finishing my master's this year.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
And the church said amen.
I'm graduating this year. So I did, part of my master's, I had to do a practicum. And so that practicum means I have to go to a school and offer, like, either practice, like either doing child development or child therapy. So my specialization was in child therapy. So I went to a school, and I remember the school counselor there, fantastic lady. She told me, I think when, you have to have debrief, she told me, Wacu, you need to learn how to not carry people's problems.
Really?
Yeah, she told me you need to work is work. Yeah. Once you're out of here, can you leave those problems at the door and
go to your life?
That can be hard, right?
It's so hard. Yeah. It's so hard. Yeah. So I've been, I think I wouldn't say I am fully understanding how to not carry people's, I'm still in that process, but finding things that make me happy, like if it's cooking, just to make me feel a bit better. So I would do things that make me feel happy. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That's good. Like setting up your business, has it been an easy journey? And also right now in our Kenyan space, and is it an easy business to do? Like, how do you even approach your client? Like,
that's a very good question. A very good question. I think we're in the age of where people talk about, I went to see my therapist.
Yes.
Told me that. My therapist told me I have attachment issues. My therapist told me I'm depressed and all that. But qua ground, people are. I'm grateful that we are in a space, in a generation right now whereby talking about your problems is not so bad.
Yeah.
But finding people actually understanding what it means to be a therapist, and especially for children, it has not been easy. It's not easy.
Can imagine.
And I think even when I started, part of now, like, our conversations with that business coach, she's like, okay, so how do you get capital? How do you get clientele? How do you? And one of the things, I've done a lot. There's a time she told me to go and put a poster up at Sarit Center. The billboards for Sarit. And I did it also. You did? I did it.
Oh my God.
I did it, guys.
Did it have your face?
It did have my face. I can't even remember. But it had my business name. It had everything. So she was telling me, start doing things that are so uncomfortable for you. Because I think I'm a very...
You live in your head.
I live in my head a lot. I live in my head a lot. And one of the things that has really stopped me is fear. So I live in my head a lot.
Yeah.
So she would tell me, do things that are very uncomfortable for you. And so I began. I'd do... put my poster up there. Then I started posting on social media.
Yeah. I like your videos, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. And she would tell me, you have the time to do it. Your kids are in school now, they're in playgroup. So you have time to do it. So it's you planning yourself, becoming disciplined to now do it. The most interesting thing, though, that I can say is that most of my clients are from TikTok.
Oh, really?
What?
Most of my clients are from this very interesting social media app called TikTok.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I think when because I started posting like nicely, like not last, like the other year, and I'd start getting traction. But let me tell you, I think towards the end of last year, not even last year, I think towards the beginning of last year and now into this year, is when my following has grown.
Wow.
It's grown so much. I do not know this app called TikTok. I do not know how.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's so interesting that most of my clients are actually from social media.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. It's I still don't understand it, but
That's really
most of
interesting.
my clients are from social media.
that's really
Yeah.
Okay. So you kind of alluded to it, Wacu, when
Yeah.
you started talking. In terms of the support you've received, your husband being one, a business coach who was brought to you by your sister. What other levels of support have you received or would have been fantastic to receive?
Yes, that's a good one.
That would be fantastic to
Yes,
receive.
yes.
The one that would be fantastic to receive is I wish I had a mentor.
Oh, okay.
I really wish I had a
Actually,
mentor
I
in
didn't
this
expect
space.
that.
But funny thing, I was having this conversation with my husband and we were talking about it and I was like, I think that's the thing I wish I had and I'm still looking for is a mentor. And especially somebody who has been able to penetrate the private practice business, especially when it comes to therapy. I would love. That is the one support I would love. I think for support I've received, I mentioned my husband, my family, my sister, and also community. I think I'm in a community, not just with friends, but also church community, whereby people will encourage you. So I remember there was a time one of our pastors, I don't know, he was talking about me just randomly in service. And he said, Lynn is a child psychologist. And that was, I had never...
Called yourself that?
Yes. And I'm like,
wow.
And it's things that in passing, somebody will say, like, you're a child psychologist. And I'm like, hi. Okay. So, small things that really stick with you, community. Somebody will give you like an encouraging word, like this is what you're meant to do. God is empowering you, like you're empowered for that space and all that. So I think community, like now family, friends, and like the community that I'm in. And then also other therapists. So one of my cousins, she's a school counselor in an international school. And once she started seeing me post more about my practice, she's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a group of psychologists, like now school counselors have a WhatsApp group. So I entered the WhatsApp group and people... That is one of the most helpful WhatsApp groups for people in the same profession. Because I've seen, like in other spaces, I don't know if maybe in the spaces that you guys are in, if people gatekeep or people talk about different things. But in that group, you will ask a question and you will be answered.
Oh my.
By then you'll be answered. They do
nice.
meetups, they do,
Actually, in your profession,
conversations.
you don't need gatekeepers.
You
It's
don't
about
need
human lives.
Yes. And you're dealing with somebody's like the framework of a person, somebody's soul, somebody's emotions, motivations. Like it's I found that group very engaging because I've met people. I wouldn't say I've gotten business from there, but I know there are people that I can call.
Yes.
Then they'll be able to give me advice. I can remember there's a time I was having a challenge with one of my clients, and I was really struggling to get rapport. So rapport is when you're able to open up to gel with somebody. So that's a counseling skill. And I sent a message to that group and I asked, hey guys, I've had this number of sessions with this person. What advice do you do? Do you refer the child? And there's a lady who called me and told me, by the way, I've had such clients.
Oh my goodness, the proactiveness.
That group
sweet.
is so vibrant. Like it's not even vibrant for just counseling, but also jokes, like as in, people assume therapists are supposed to be serious,
You keep people,
proper, don't
You
make
have our
jokes.
secrets.
You have a secret. Like I had gone for, it's just a funny story. I'd gone for a concert on Sunday. And I met one of my clients' moms there. So I was so happy to see her. I'm like, hi, how are you? She's like, I know I'm supposed to come back to a session. I told her,
Relax,
I can imagine, relax. As in, this is not the space. Yeah, like just hi, like, enjoy yourself, you know. So I think there's that perception that people have of psychologists. So I think that group has it's really been a good support system. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
What kind of risks did you take then? But also right now, even as you're thinking about your business, I know you want to expand. What kind of risks are you thinking of taking now?
I think I would say first, the risk that I've taken is putting myself out there.
Yes, savage.
You know, I'm actually surprised that you would struggle with that. You don't look like
you
struggling
don't actually. No, you don't
Release by
actually.
there. I'm a very introverted person. Really? Putting myself out there. Let me tell you, like, especially with content and social media, because I think the reason why I think TikTok is a good space, especially for people to grow, is that I think humans are always looking for conversations and connection.
Yeah.
So if I post a video and I've talked about signs of a depressed child, a parent will see that and like, by the way, that is my child. And, you know, when people find you relatable, then they're able to, I think it's easy for them to like open up to you. So I think putting myself out there, honestly, is the biggest risk I think I have taken.
Yeah.
Another one is trying to demystify what counseling and therapy is till to date. Like, as I mentioned, like we're in a generation where people openly talk about therapy.
Yes.
But people have so many wrong perceptions about what therapy is.
Yeah.
People are afraid of going to therapy because they think it's just a space where you just talk about problems.
Yeah.
But there's so much that I think educating people, because there are parents that come to me and they're like, okay, so this is my child's problem. So I've told you what is happening and we've started therapy. And then like after 2 sessions, a child will be like, okay, so what is the problem? Yeah, the parent will be like that. So it's getting them to understand what is actually therapy. And I think that is why I am so driven to push content to understand what actually counseling is. I think also another risk is dealing with people's children.
It is.
That is a risk. It's a risk. It's a really, really big risk. And especially with pertinent issues like self-harm and attempted suicide. Like I remember there's a parent I had to disclose to that their child tried to commit suicide and it went south, guys. It went south. It went south. The parent did not believe.
Oh no.
The parent was like, you need to go and assess that child again and all that. And this, I've done my assessments. I've even consulted with colleagues and all that. I think the risky bit is dealing with children's lives. It's very, very risky. Yeah.
In a very human life-centered business, right? I mean, you still have your life to provide for. You have your own family. You have your own thing. And then there's real humans going through real lives
life challenges,
that you're dealing with. That's very delicate.
Yeah.
How do you define success? Because in a corporate,
success is very
revenue.
linear.
It's very easy to talk about.
KPIs.
Even as we're talking here, I'm just like, wow, we need to be careful because this is really human.
This is human life.
To add salt to injury is young people, like it's children.
It's children who have parents.
Who have a whole future.
I was actually thinking how you have to handle two emotions, like it's the child, but you're also handling the parent. You
I'm
kind of
also
have to take them
parent.
through, sessions.
Yeah, you have to tell. So how I do, and I'll answer your question. How I do my business is I will first do a consultation call with the parent. Then we'll do a consult. Then now I tell them I do 3 sessions because I get to assess the child. I get to see what is it that because you could have brought your child because you think they're depressed, but there's something deeper than that.
Else.
Then now on the 3rd session is when I give feedback to the parent. Like, this is what I've discovered. It's very hard because 90%, and I will say this boldly, 90% of how children are is their parents and how they've been raised. So you can imagine, the issue of this child, ni muzazi.
Oh,
And you have to communicate that. And you have to communicate that it's the problem. Because you're the first place a child will learn about themselves, emotions, leadership, even in the workplace. And for you guys who've been in corporate, there are certain leaders that you see, like somebody who's very tough. 90% is that they were raised in a family where somebody was tough.
Very tough.
Or they didn't have they didn't have a space where they could express themselves. So they have to push through people. Like they have to shove people. And you see how it cascades down to a lot. It cascades down to so many things.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I find the balance now between that was your question.
Yeah. So okay, just answer just go on with your thought process. Then I'll tell you what my question was.
I think now how I find the balance between the two is I do what I can.
Yeah.
And I tell you what I can. I give you the information that I can.
Yeah.
If you accept my information, it's okay, especially to parents. But I think even why I like working with children is children are very simple.
Yeah.
And you guys have kids, will tell me. Just show a child attention. They will tell you everything. Show a child attention. Just sit with them and play with them. Because I do a lot of play therapy. Because that's play is a child's first language. Is play. So I do a lot of play therapy. You'll see me on the mat with a child. We are building blocks. Let me tell you, that child will tell you everything. They'll tell you everything.
Yeah. I think my question was, how do you define success for yourself? This is coming from the fact that, if I start a business today, that is, we just hosted someone who's making bags. Bags. The goal is stock,
make as many,
sell as many, become this big brand that is known. This is who I am. This is my brand. People love it. Go wild, whatever. That's success. But in a business like yours, how do you define success? And I want you to consider a few things here. Your own financial goals as a person, as someone who's a family person, but also the human beings that you're taking care of in this case.
I think if I was given an opportunity not to handle money, I would.
It makes sense to me a little bit.
It makes so much sense.
I wouldn't. And I think that's even why I really wanted to work, especially like in a school setup where when I focus too on the kids. But let me not say unfortunately, but fortunately, I think for me success is defined in so many different ways. There's the personal goals. I have a certain target amount in my mind that I want to be making every month. And that is what, it's still there. But to me, another aspect of success is if a child is able to express themselves to their parents. Small things, small things. Let me give you an example. Just today morning, there's a client I've been seeing since December, and she's a girl who's been self-harming really, really badly, really bad. And to me, I was even telling her today, I'm really proud of her, is because she's not done it since we met for 6 months. To me, that's success.
For sure.
To me, that is success. A parent will come to a child and tell me, I remember there was a certain kid who their parents were going through divorce and the child was having separation anxiety. So the child couldn't sleep on their own. After 3 sessions, 4 sessions with them, the child started sleeping on their own. So for me, I think the other way I look at success is the goal as to why you're bringing your child to me is that is it. If we're able to achieve that goal, that is it. And also again, I still desire to make that money. And that I still desire it. So when I was thinking about that question, if I could I think just have an accountant
Who handles
the
finances
money.
for you.
The finances, who handles all that, I'll be fine because I will just focus on my work.
I get
But also,
it.
one of the things I am constantly learning is that what I am doing is valuable.
It is.
That's what I was gonna go.
Yeah. I have value. What
Yeah.
I do is so valuable.
It is. It
and
is.
what if you want that value, you will pay for that
You
value.
will.
Yeah.
It's so hard to quantify.
That's
this
what
value.
I'm saying.
It's so hard. Like success
Hard
is
to quantify.
How do you quantify that? What do you benchmark with? You know, like,
yeah.
and especially now, as
my
as you grow,
goodness.
and I know
Yeah.
the business coach has probably taken
Yeah.
the video
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
How do you benchmark your service?
Your services.
Yeah,
I think in terms, I'll start in terms of pricing.
yeah, pricing. Actually, that's what I'm.
Yeah,
talking about.
pricing. In terms of pricing, I look at what is it that I am offering in terms of, because currently how I work is that I have a friend who's also a psychologist in private practice. So they have an office.
Yeah.
So that's where I have my sessions. So I think about the cost. That's a business expense, is that I pay for that space.
Yeah.
And I pay for that space per hour.
Wow.
So there's an hourly rate.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you see? Like it's there's an hourly rate, and you get it because it's also their business.
Yeah. True.
So there's the hourly rate I have to pay. Then now I think about materials that I use, because I use a lot of toys. I use colors, I use crayons, I use so many things. I use toys, like so many things that I have to purchase.
Yes.
And then also what is my goal? There's a target amount that I have at the end of the month. So how do I ensure that I meet this target? And that's how I price. And now, right now, I've been thinking about it. Like, I think this year is when I've made the most money, like from my business. But I feel like it's still not enough.
You'll get there.
Yeah, and I'll get there. And I think it's because there's those desires that you have. I have children. I have to provide for them.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to go to the
good
best
life.
schools. Yeah.
Yes.
And then also I want to also open my own space.
Exactly.
So that one, now if I have to open my own space, like I remember there's a time I did that calculation with the business coach, and for me to have to open my own space and to plus expenses, it was coming about 150,000. And that is just expenses for running that place.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how much am I supposed to
Be
make
making,
to in terms of profit.
to make profit.
Sustain itself.
Right?
Yeah. So I think that's how I look at it in terms of like, how do I place value?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also sometimes, you think, I think I'm on the journey, let me say that, of truly believing in myself. I'm on that journey of believing in myself.
Yeah.
So there are instances where, and nudges, and I think Phyllis might know. Where, like somebody will tell you need to start charging more. Or even God will tell you, you need to start charging. Let me give you a story. There's a time, I think towards the end of the year, like I think God told me you need to start increasing your prices. And that was before that. There's before that. And I was like, Mimi Sifani. Do you know the next client who called me, asked me, you charge this amount? And I said no.
And a high amount. Oh, Asho.
Yes.
Do we throw pillows at you?
Oh my gosh, that was your stepping stone. Like,
That was it.
anyway. Yeah.
I said no. And I was like, they are so dumb.
No, I don't think you're
No,
dumb.
not
It's
dumb,
just
but yeah.
But what else is the sign? That was the sign.
That was the sign. And then now, I think 2 months later, somebody else told me that you need to increase your prices.
Yeah.
And I think now is when I've done it.
Yes.
I've done it. And I think it still feels like
You're conning people.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome. Here we
Imposter
are.
syndrome, there it is. Yeah. I'm like, hey, God.
Imagine.
But if you think about it, because of what I know, and it's not just from school, but also from doing my own research and from also understanding what it means for a child to be holistic in some sense, for a child to be emotionally okay, physically, psychologically, mentally, the different spheres. It takes a lot. There are times that, I think I was telling you guys, like, what I've done in school, my master's, is not enough for what I want. Because I think when you grow in business, you're challenged. And in my career, I've been challenged with very interesting dynamics of cases that you're like, hapa.
You need something else.
I need something else. And what I'm able to do and what I'm able to read and research, because as a counselor, you have to constantly grow. Because every day there are different, theories that are coming out. There are different techniques that are coming out that you have to learn how to use. So I think there's also now value. And you see, if I continue growing, if I want to grow in my knowledge, then it means it will cost something.
Yes.
So it means also my pricing will have to go up, because it costs something for you to be able to get the information that I have.
That's amazing. So like in 5 years or 3 years, we've been saying 3, where do you see yourself in the business?
That's a very good question. I think one of the things is I would love to open my space, as I said.
Yes.
And not just a counseling center. I've always had this desire to have a clinic that is also a hospital, and then there's also like mental health facilities inside there.
Okay.
Like I call it a sanctuary, like a small sanctuary where you need to, there's a place for you to go. You know how, like if you go to establishments that are run by Muslims, you'll find a place for
prayer.
So that's what I want. I want somewhere that there's a prayer place. There's somewhere
can
that
come and actually pray.
come and pray. Then there's medicine if you need to be treated, and then now there's the mental health now, and you can come in with your child, also adults. I think that is the desire that I have. 2 is that one of the things that I have also, again, we say how we term value is that I see a problem and I am done, I have to give a solution to a problem. And one of the things I've noticed that there are not a lot of Kenyan authors who have written books on counseling, especially for children. So that is one thing that I actually have a book.
It's really good.
I have a book that is I have written, so it's being illustrated.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And it's a beautiful
Nowadays,
book,
I think
guys.
I read the authors.
Yeah, you read for the authors, It's a beautiful book, guys.
That's nice.
So it's a book about divorce and separation. Now from a child's perspective. So it's a beautiful story. And then it has, like, it's not just a storybook. There are also activities that you can do inside with your child. There are different things that I've added. And also it's not just, it also has like psychological evidence-based things that are there that could help parents if they're navigating divorce and separation. So I think one of also my goals is to have as many books as possible in the child now therapy space. Because most of the story, especially storybooks that have been written, have like there's a lady who, one of my lecturers, she's now that's what she does. She's a child therapist. And I remember we had gone to her space, and her office space was so beautiful. It had toys, and we just sat down, and she told us about her journey and all that. And she actually mentioned it that I'm waiting for you guys to bring me your books to write books, because all the books that she had were American authors. There was no like,
sometimes they even miss context.
They miss context, context for that
Cultural
particular
context,
context. So I am trying to write as many. I would in those 5 years I'd be as many books as possible.
love it.
In that now
love
that
it.
child
I
therapy
love it.
space.
I love reading.
I want to ask a question just because.
Can't wait to read it.
Me too, by the way.
Yeah, that book is beautiful, guys. Like even the illustration
really?
is so
I
cute.
love
Yeah,
it.
it's in the pipeline. So my illustrator,
Watch out for it.
wherever
We'll
he
also
is,
put it here.
wherever
We'll
he
see
is,
it.
he needs to work hard on. yeah.
So, as we're speaking, I was also finding out things about you as much as I know you outside of this podcast.
Yeah.
Who do you think you
Yeah.
have to become to reach this point of success that you're describing? And what do you think you need to shed? What are the things that you have identified you have to shed?
Yeah.
And what are the things that you have to grow? Maybe you're already making steps. Some of them you probably delayed. It's like, okay, that one will grow later.
Yeah.
But what are those things?
I have a very simple answer to that question.
Yeah.
I just need to become myself. Just me.
Yeah.
And it's just me based on my true identity as a person.
Yeah.
And not being Wacu based on my experiences, not being Wacu based on especially my experiences or my past failures, especially that, or the things that I've not been able to achieve. Because I believe even if you hear people who are successful, they'll just tell you, me, by then I just believed in myself.
That's it.
And that's it. Like for me, it's just believing in myself, and not just myself, believing in who God
God says you
intended
say you
me to be.
Yeah.
Because how I am and how God sees all of us is so different. Yani you'll see things and you'll hear things and you'll read, or people will tell you things that they've seen about you or they know about you, and you're like, but that's not me. And I think it's in now the different experiences that you go through, like life, that's how you become who you are. I think the things, the things I'm shedding is a lot of fear, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of, I think, insecurities. And that is, I think, the areas that I'm growing into. Yeah.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a young woman somewhere out there who's like you. Finished her quite bright. Gets her A's, finished her university, never had a
Yes.
job,
Yeah.
got married, or maybe not, or has had kids, never had a job.
Yeah.
What would you tell that person?
Imagine I would tell that person, whatever, and I think you alluded it earlier, whatever you have, imagine that's it. Whatever you have in your hands, that's just it.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Taking that leap of faith will, and once you, when you're starting something, when you're doing something, there's a lot of like, will this work?
Yeah.
There are a lot of questions that you ask yourself. But once you get validated for what you do, you're just like, I can actually do it. I can actually do it. I was telling my sister this. One of my even goals for the 5 years I forgot to mention is I am going to be one of the most sought out after child psychologists in this country, by the way. That is it. Like I know, because I know the kind of value that I bring. The kind of value that I bring is not, there's nobody who can do what I do the way I do it. Yeah. So to that young woman, imagine start.
Yeah.
Just start.
Love it.
We're almost coming to the end, but you've said something that has reminded me. Our previous guest said something that I thought was so deep.
Yes.
And she's an artist, and she says, like, even her, when she produces an art piece, if you tell her to replicate it, she can't. And she's the one who's done it.
That's
So
true.
it's like when an original leaves the mind of a creator, and even here, creator, we have God. Like when you left the mind of God and said, okay, Victoria, you're going to be born in this year.
This way.
God is not recreating you.
Yes.
Again. It's just, there's just you.
There's just me.
And what he gave you and what he put in you to come and do here. It helped me understand purpose more again, and also just how unique human beings are.
I think there's always space for there's space for everybody.
Yes.
There's always space for everyone. And
I
I think
agree.
once we realize that there's nobody else who's like you, and there was no one who will ever be like you. You could emulate somebody, emulate what they're doing, the kind of business that they have, the kind of income that they're getting, the profits that they're getting, but you can never be. There's nobody like you.
There's
not a one-to-one.
There's no one. There's no one. If I look at myself, even people in your family, like how we tend to look at your mom, like you're so different from your mom. You have similar traits, yes, but you're a different, unique person. Yeah.
Wow.
We just got deep.
Yeah.
Almost went to church.
And unfortunately, we are at the end of the conversation, but this has been so amazing. Phyllis, what do you think?
Really good. I told you this one and she'll make you choke and cry. It's been really good. It's been really good.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming here today.
Thank you
We've
for
learned
having
so
me.
much, inspired as well, and just it's been amazing. Yeah. So catch us on the next one, and see you.
Goodbye.
Bye.